Let me hook up the private chat here just in case, because I think folks are probably going to want to talk with you. All right, so we got wow, we did it right on time, 11:30,
Yeah.
and now we just have to somehow fill the next 3 or 4 hours with.
Oh boy. That long?
Oh man, what's happened? I hear an echo.
What about that? Is the echo gone?
Let me just see something here. Okay, I think that helps out there. How about that? It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 or 4 hours, maybe five. Sometimes these things go a little long.
It's a long day.
Oh, shoot. Well,
Well, I have 2 cups of coffee and a
okay,
mug of
good.
water.
That's what you need. So generally, the way I do these things is I just kind of like we do a little personal stuff to kind of get to know you, and then we start to move into your expertise if you have it, and you're one of those guys that has a lot of it. So probably that's where most of the content's going to go. Um, and I have to say, I ask a lot of people, who do you want to see from the Discord community? And
Hmm.
brother, your name is always on the short list.
That's because I'm the moderator. That's the only reason.
Well, and the other thing that I noticed about you in the Discord is that I cannot recall a time where somebody was taking you to task. I mean, you seems like you're probably the most likable person also on the Discord for some reason.
Am I?
I think so. I never see anybody giving you a hard time, and you don't seem rattled by anybody either.
Hard time. Hmm. I had plenty of hard times.
Do you? I guess I'm just not there for it.
Yeah, it just happens on the European time zone. So,
And what time is it there for you?
it's 9:30 a.m.
In the morning.
Yeah, it's in the morning.
Okay. You didn't get much sleep, did you?
I did. Wasn't the best, but I mean, you didn't get any sleep. It's like 3 o'clock now.
Well, it's like 11:30 here, so
11:30.
yeah, at
That's
night.
not that bad. Okay. I thought it would be like two in the morning.
No, I'm in Arizona.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to say what part of the world you're in or where you're
Uh,
at?
well, okay, I'm from Lithuania, the Baltic states. Yeah.
Listen, I saw
So far away.
somebody, Lithuania. We could be related, brother. I'm part Lithuanian.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got some Russian. I've got mostly Italian, Polish, Lithuanian, and there's something else I don't know. I forget. So
did
quite
you do
possible.
the DNA test or
I've
what's it
never done
called?
that. I haven't done that. No.
Or do you know the family roots, the family tree?
Uh, it was a long time ago when we did that stuff in school. So I don't feel like I'm really up on all of that.
Hmm.
Is that kind of a big deal where you're at? Like that's a pretty important thing.
Nah, not really. I just kind of wanted to keep it down low.
Uh-huh.
You know, it kind of feels like a bear more responsibility being a moderator, like the front-facing guy.
Well, you
So
know what, man? I have heard people refer to you as the Bruce Wayne of crypto, the Tony Stark of Titano. And what do you think about that, man? Have you heard those kinds of descriptions?
yeah, I've seen him floating those around, but
What does that make you what does that make you feel like, man, that people see you this way?
I don't know. I don't see myself that way. Uh, I'm just a regular guy doing regular things.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. That's pretty credible because when I'm looking at, the work that you do, and it seems like it is. I mean, we're talking about applied mathematics. You've got some, computer
No,
algorithms that, I mean, I don't think
no
the average
degree in
person really.
mathematics.
I mean, I don't think people really understand these things, and so I'm kind of really glad to get you on so we could talk a little bit about this. And you know, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, is like, when you're looking at the quality of work that you do, and then I'm looking through the Discord at the kind of conversations you're having. It seems like you probably got into crypto at around 3 years old. So, how long have you been in this?
I've been I've seen Bitcoin being released. It's was it in 2015, 2014, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit earlier, but I recall that I was in university the first years, the
Uh-huh.
freshman. Uh, this is when I started looking into crypto, seeing what it is. Something magical, something magical instant money. Not the Wonderland thing, but you know,
Uh-huh.
it got my attention. I tried to get Bitcoin, but I didn't have any cash at the moment. I was a broke university student, so living in a dormitory.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking for those free faucets that give you free
Yeah.
Bitcoin, essentially.
Mhm.
Uh, and I managed to scoop up like 20, 30 Bitcoin. Just blew it all out.
You don't have those anymore?
No,
What did you blow it on a pizza like the guy over here in the States did?
uh, pretty much, pretty much. Yeah.
But you
There's
say, yeah.
this thing called Black Hat World, the website where people go to, uh, find solutions, not always the best ones, the Black Hat solutions.
Uh-huh.
There are red hat solutions, white hat solutions. So people focus on what black hat solutions on that page for SEO, copywriting, basically expanding your network. And people accepted Bitcoin as a payment there. So
Uh-huh.
I went there. I took a subscription for Bitcoin, and I forgot about it. So
Wow. So you signed up for a subscription, you
yeah,
forgot about it, and what, it just drained your account of all your Bitcoin.
yeah, I just took the money. It was a month of subscription, and it was gone. And
So,
I enjoyed it while it lasted. So
well, I mean, I guess there's that, you know. Wow.
no one knew Bitcoin would end up at the same place it is right now, even
Mhm.
in the bear market. So
You think if you did still have it, you would have still have all your information for your wallet and everything like that? Because a lot of
uh,
people say that they lost that stuff.
oh man, I was naive at that time. It was just like any other game, or a
Yeah.
uh, what's the word?
I understand.
Something not serious,
Mhm. Yeah.
that goes by night and just you don't remember the next day.
I've read a lot of articles of people who have, they bought a lot of Bitcoin, but they misplaced their all their account information or their keys, and so of course, it's lost to them without the keys.
I
And
mean, I have a few accounts that I don't even remember the keys for, so
uh-huh.
I wouldn't put that in it.
It's probably one of the more interesting aspects of crypto, as you think about all the different methods people are using to keep all that information.
Some just etch their key phrases on metal, some on paper.
Seen that. Uh-huh.
I've seen some people using just regular old glass jars and bury them on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that though, burying mine in the
It's
backyard.
like it's like a time capsule.
Uh-huh.
Just go to your backyard and do the thing.
Hey, Wayne, you said you were in university when you first, when you first encountered Bitcoin. What were you studying?
Oh, the funny thing, I was studying English and Spanish linguistics.
Ah, wow.
uh, yeah, I was all over the place since high school. Uh,
Uh,
First, I wanted to be a developer. Then I wanted to be a pharmacist, a chemist, a
yeah.
pyrotechnician.
Uh-huh.
So, I've tried all of those things.
Are you any closer to making a decision on which one of those things you want to do?
I mean, I'm already on that decision. I already made it. You
Hmm.
can actually see the results.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, I was studying English and Spanish linguistics. Kind of wanted to be a translator, uh, do that live translation thing, the
Hmm.
interpreting. Uh,
Yeah.
the goal was to end up at the European Commission. Go high, go for the sky,
Hmm.
aim for the sky, basically. Uh, but it didn't catch on. Uh, I started freelancing, doing freelancing gigs, taking upon translation jobs for the government places.
Hmm.
And I found out that the work is not for me. You just sit at the table all day reading stuff, rereading stuff, and the payment was absurd.
Was lousy, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty lousy. Like $2 per page. Well,
Yeah.
they paid per page while you can spend like 6 hours on the page.
Hmm.
It was it was insane.
How many languages do you speak, brother?
Well, I speak English. I speak some of Spanish. It's gotten rusty over the years.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I know a little bit of Russian. I mean, I can understand barely what the other person is saying, and I can,
You,
scrabble up some words and reply.
Speaking of Russian, um, so I have a request from Dex, and he
But that,
said, "Okay, yeah. So you watched the Rocky movie with Ivan Drago in it, right?
yeah.
You know what? And so he says in there that he was good. He says I must break you to Rocky,
God
and
damn.
Dex says you got to say that on camera.
Which accent should I use?
I guess the one that he thinks is amazing because he said you got to say it. I must break you.
I must break you. God damn.
Oh man,
It
those
feels
Rocky movies
unnatural. It just
were
feels
those
unnatural.
were those movies big where you're at? Like
I don't know. It, when did it came out? It came out like in the 90s.
they came out like it spanned like I don't know 4 decades.
Well, if we're talking about the 90s, then yeah, it had a lot of influence. we
Did
had
it?
we had a sort of district
Uh-huh.
uh, with crackheads, basically.
Uh-huh.
Those movies were basically idolized. I
Huh.
mean, yeah, they would just watch the movies and try to replicate them.
Well,
You,
the Rocky movies here in the States were, that was like, I don't know, a rite of passage, man. I mean, when you left the theaters, in the theaters, people were going crazy. They'd be standing up in their chairs and screaming and yelling, and it was pretty crazy.
yeah, I mean, Rocky was taken as an idol, but uh, from the wrong perspective. uh, kind of, how can I use this man's dedication to
Hmm.
improve myself to smash more faces in?
Well, I mean, that is an interesting sport, isn't it? You just pulverize each other until you can't even until you're not even conscious anymore.
Oh yeah, I had like 1 year, 2 years of experience in jujitsu, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not a black belt, nor any belt. I just have some experience.
You didn't like it or what?
Uh, the master was rather interesting. He used to, uh, temper us, so to say,
Uh-huh.
by kicking us
Uh-huh.
in the balls.
So, all right, let's take it back to crypto over here because we were just talking about, you know,
You
how you
got
must
into
have
the
been
full
somewhere
start.
around 3 years old when you started it because you know so much. So but you really started looking at it seriously about what time, you think?
Uh, about 2017,
Hmm.
this is when I graduated from my bachelor's, yes,
Hmm.
and started looking for my master's degree. So I needed some cash, and I found a guy who was also interested in crypto. We went to a cafe, talked about it. He had an idea,
Hmm.
and we went with it. So we essentially got into at a time when the ICO boom started. Do you remember that?
No,
Do
I wasn't in finance at that time. I was driving a tractor trailer.
you... Tractors are nice, man. Okay, so in 2017, there was this initial coin offering boom, sort of like a crowdfunding, but for crypto.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
instead of offering, those uh, stocks for people, projects were offering tokens, sort of like having a share of the product, essentially.
Hmm.
So there was this boom, and we went with creating a sort of like an aggregator for those projects, listing them, marketing them, and reaching out to them and having, AMAs, calls, and Discord servers popping up right, left and right.
Hmm.
So we made some cash. Now we're basically selling our services in Ethereum. Uh, it went pretty nicely, I would say, for like half a year.
Hmm.
Uh, then things turned for the worst. The guy got so greedy he didn't even pay me a salary.
Yeah.
So I had to resign. I quit, and out of spite, I started my own business. Since I
Uh,
was
I've
the okay,
I've often heard it said that the best revenge is success.
pretty much. The guy took the money and ran away. He went abroad, changed his name because he made around $5 million
Wow.
over the course of half a year, while I was stuck with 20 ETH at that time. So yeah, uh, this was the time when I started doing learning, basically web development.
Hmm.
And, knowing nothing, basically, I started building my own ICO aggregator with a spin and with a twist on it that would automatically analyze the sentiment. Uh, how much followers do you have? How much threads there are on this Bitcoin Talk forum? Basically monitoring the activity, and it was a pretty easy way to see which project is a scam, or which project bought the followers. Because one day you can see the project has like 1,000 followers on Twitter. The next day it has like 500,000. It really
Uh-huh.
does raise some red flags. And yeah, I started doing reaching out to projects, selling the same services, but with an official website.
Hmm.
Uh, it went well, and at that time I didn't have the knowledge of investing, of diversifying. So I just went all in with my 20 ETH,
Mm-hmm.
which was worth like 60 grand. I just spent it all on crap projects. Yeah.
Well, I hope you made a fortune with it.
Oh no, I lost it all.
Everybody seems to have this story to share. It's very similar, It's like, you win some, you lose a lot, and looking for that elusive big win.
Yeah. Yeah, I started investing at the time when BitConnect was a thing. Uh, so yeah, put a lot of cash into a lot of projects, and 90% of them went down, went to zero basically,
Hmm.
because the crypto winter came right after.
Anything like what's happening right now?
It was worse.
Was even worse.
Yeah, it was even worse. Uh, I mean, the crypto market basically crashed in a day, in a night.
Hmm.
I had like
That's
100 grand on my portfolio one day, and the next day it was like two grand.
oh,
So
well.
yeah,
So I see. You're pretty compassionate to some of the folks who are pretty upset about pricing now. So I see where that comes from. You've been there.
yeah, I've been there. I spent a lot of time researching, but it's like any other business, any other startup. Uh, you get the idea, you have an idea, you try to materialize basically,
Yeah.
but not everything depends on you. It kind of depends on the circumstances. Do people really need it? Do people really want it? And if your product has no place in the space, then you're likely to go down.
But when did you said it went down to like about 2 grand in
Yeah,
24 hours. Did you leave it there though, or did you
I
take it
just
out
I,
and
I
just
just left it.
hmm
I mean, I didn't see the use, taking out a negative 98%. So I just left it. I saw some projects with a bright future. Uh, Out of like 50 projects, there were like two
hmm
that stuck to this day still. And
what were they?
what was it? U Trust, I believe, and V Chain.
V chain?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I just left them all and forgot about crypto for like a year, 2 years. Um, I just went on with my studies.
Hmm.
And the funny thing, during my master's degree, I did all my work based on crypto. My master thesis was on crypto, on ICOs and cryptocurrencies.
Wow.
So it was like 120 pages just about crypto. So
Is
it's
that
a
avail
hands-on experience.
is that posted somewhere where people can
No,
see?
it's not. It's not public. It's universities
Hmm.
in property right now.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't the best outcome because starting writing the thesis on basically on the bear market.
Hmm.
I had to go to people for interviews, to projects for interviews. We had like 7 or 8 projects in Lithuania that I wanted to interview, but most of them died or just straight out refused to be interviewed.
So you probably have a deep perspective on what's happening right here. I'd sure like to get your thoughts on that. Like, a lot of people, I'm. It's so obvious. You go into the Discord at just about any time, nowadays, And of course, they're very concerned about the price, and they think that the sky's falling. It's never going to turn around. And, what would you say to those folks who are thinking that way?
What would I say? Just look at the past, try to get as much information on what happened before, and try to, compare those two things. Because what happened at that time was not influenced by what's happening around us at this day.
Hmm.
It was caused by people over leveraging, taking out loans, mortgaging
Hmm.
their houses, and just dumping it all in crypto. Because it was a new fad, people just wanted to get quick cash soon, um, and they just got burned. They didn't have a lot of experience with that, and even a single 5% drop, which is pretty normal in crypto,
Hmm.
scare
Yeah.
those investors because they come from either no background of investing or from regular stocks. And during the bull run, people just over leveraged, uh, and just, well, essentially we had a bank run,
Hmm.
and that this is what caused the massive bear market. And the adoption at that time was not as wide as we have today.
Hmm.
You can already see companies like BMW, Walmart, partnering up with some projects. And at that time, it was unheard of. So we have an edge today, more of an edge today than we had before. So I just think that this is heavily influenced by what's happening around us today. It might take maybe half a year, maybe a year, who knows, to
Hmm.
recover.
And
But
so you you know how relatively new is this DeFi,
DeFi
and what are you?
has been around for
Yeah.
like 2 years now, I believe.
Hmm.
I didn't get back to crypto when DeFi started, but there were some, buds, like small little buds of DeFi back in 2017,
Hmm.
and those were actually called DAOs,
Hmm.
and I had to write about them because they, piqued my interest. What is that? And how could a piece of code just run the whole organization? How
Hmm.
does how does that work? And there were some, reminiscences of DAOs, but essentially those were just centralized organizations with crypto.
Uh-huh.
And DeFi is trying to change the structure of DAOs a little bit, but they still can't, purely convert to a 100% DAO, which is ran by code. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a huge feat to accomplish. It will require tons of time to do that. So
And
I believe that we're just in the beginning of all the DAOs and all the DeFi's, just
hmm
an experimental phase, the innovation phase.
where do you want to see DeFi go? Like, what are you expecting from it? What is it that you want to see from this
Well,
kind
I would like
of
to see
finance?
DeFi being a supplementary kind of chain to regular old, financial structure. So people have the freedom of choice. Well, not
Hmm.
that uh, ironic freedom of choice where it's still the same choice, but either go to a bank, either choose stocks, or go all in on DeFi.
And maybe even eliminate the bank altogether.
I don't think that is going to happen since, I mean, the economy is so deeply rooted in society and
Hmm.
it's going so difficult to be changed.
Like, let me ask you this: like around here, at least in the states, there's many companies now that are accepting crypto. Matter of fact, you could buy groceries with crypto. You could build your house with crypto. I mean,
That's right.
yeah, they're out there, and I mean, I've spent some time looking to see just how many companies are accepting crypto for payment. And it seems like, it's more and more and more, which is probably why the government's trying to pound it into the dirt so hard right now, because they don't want that to happen, in my opinion. But,
Hmm.
you know, um, I don't know what kind of attitude your government has about it, but it's a pretty here. It seems like it's pretty predatory, quite predatory.
From my point of view, it looks like, huh, there are two camps. I mean, one
Hmm.
wants to run it to the ground, and the other wants to, somehow alleviate it, rise it up. Uh,
Hmm.
from what I've heard, that some states are introducing tax benefits on crypto, and some states just straight up trying to refuse it.
Hmm.
So it all depends on who's running the states and his background, or his her background. I mean, but in my country, crypto, yeah, it exists, but there's still this stigma or this misunderstanding of crypto that it's used for shady things only.
Oh yeah, as if fiat isn't used for anything
I
shady.
mean, fiat is the root of all evil, so it just takes another shape and digital coins. That's about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's too funny. It always makes me laugh when I hear people say, "But crypto, it's used to hold up criminal activities." And I'm
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I've been paying attention to the news for about 50 some odd years, and I'm pretty sure that regular money has its fair share of crime associates. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, man. I can't. Sometimes I just I don't know. Well, you know what? It's like you said, a lot of people don't really understand it, and their concepts are based off some probably just I don't know, some article that they didn't even fully read. Um, and then
well, I've noticed some things that just people just read the headlines.
yeah, that's true.
Sensationalism. They don't even care to go deeper and analyze it. Uh, and that's coming from the sorry about that, but from the older population.
Uh-huh.
Uh, more likely from those ignorant bunch of people.
Well, the thing that needs to happen, man, is guys like you have to, we have to figure out a way to kind of just take it down a notch and make it digestible for the average person. And that's kind of like what I'm hoping that these series will do over time is we can start to explore certain concepts and just break it down so that people can kind of understand it in a way that makes sense to them. So, maybe taking a concept, breaking it down to real world activities that most people engage in. I mean, most people aren't, don't have master's degrees in finance. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be a kind of a challenge in order to get them to really understand what's at play here. So it's like, there's a lot of advanced concepts being tossed around the Discord that I know it's going over my head. So I know it's going over a lot of people's heads because you only see a handful of people participating in those conversations, and so my hope is that we'll be able to start chopping away at some of these difficult concepts, and guys like you, I think, are going to be really key in that. And so, the plan that I hope we'll be able to do is have you, a handful of other people on at the same time, and we'll just start tackling certain protocols and just spend 10 or 15 or 20 minutes on it if we need to try and make sure that everybody really understands it. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
Well, it sounds so easy. You guys, it's amazing to me. I mean, just watching you guys in the Discord, and I just say to myself, my gosh, I mean, I've been in crypto for a year, and from what you're saying, it doesn't look like you've been in it that much longer, but yet you have a real strong concept of what's happening within, let's just say, Titano, and its mechanisms that it uses to operate on a daily basis. Because I think when you're taught start talking about buybacks, burns, inflation, deflation, I mean those that doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. You know, they just bought Titano at a particular price. They expect it to go up, and and when it doesn't, they get mad.
That's the misconception of crypto in general.
Uh huh.
Uh, I do believe that it all comes down to the mindset and the previous education of the person.
Hmm.
So if one does not have a fundamental understanding of how the economy works, how the finances work, uh, he or she, will have a hard time understanding this all. Uh,
Exactly.
but at the same time, if your mindset is, shifted towards wanting to learn more, then I believe that it's easier to transition from not knowing anything to knowing something. But if you're just stuck in the same loop, closing all the doors on all the knowledge, then it's an issue with you yourself, not someone else.
Well, brother, I know exactly what you're saying, but I I know people that hire people to plug their stereos speakers into the backs of the stereos. Okay, so there's a large gap that exists out there,
Oh yeah.
and somehow or another we're going to have to bridge that, because if this thing's ever going to be mainstream, we have to somehow grab everybody that's not grasping it uh, entirely. You know what I mean, and help them do that. So I think that's probably going to be a pretty big job.
I mean, we're basically taking over a job of a teacher, of
Yeah.
a professor.
Uh huh. Does it come? I'm just curious though, man. Did the concepts come easy to you? I mean, is it just like I mean, I've also done a lot of web development,
Mm.
not to the extent that you have. And I remember for quite a few years, when I'm trying to teach myself HTML, that does not come naturally for me. And I mean, does the coding and all of that, does that come easy to you?
I look at coding like learning a new language, a new foreign language. You
Hmm.
just get the fundamentals right, and you just go with the flow. You know, there are languages that are similar. Take Spanish and English.
Yeah.
They have they have similarities. They have similar words to some extent.
Hmm.
And for an English speaker, it's rather easy to learn Spanish. So for programming languages, if you know at least the one language, you can easily transition to other ones because the fundamentals are the same.
Hmm.
So yeah, at first it's hard. It's alien, but once you get going, it's the same as with everything. Once you get going, it gets easier.
I think you might be a little smarter than the average bear, my friend.
I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So tell me, take us to the point where you found Titano. Like, what is it that brought you to this project, and what made
Hmm.
you stay?
I just found it by accident.
Ah.
Yeah. Um, it happened last year.
Mhm.
Was it in October? November? No, it wasn't November. First time in 3 years I had a vacation.
Uh-huh.
So I saw that the crypto market was, you know, pretty healthy in a bull run, so to say,
Yeah.
and wanted to explore, get back into crypto after a hiatus of like 2, 3 years maybe.
Hmm.
So I just went on YouTube, Reddit, all other social media, just started looking for what's good, what has the hook. So
Hmm.
And I spotted Titano on the Crypto Moonshots subreddit, I guess that's how
Mm-hmm.
it's called. I read about it. I got interested by the whole taxes thing, the buy and sell taxes, the rebasing protocol. Uh, I've already invested in Wonderland and Olympus, so I was pretty familiar with those.
Yeah.
And since it was on the Binance Smart Chain, it was so much easier to get into. The
Mm-hmm.
fees were pretty low, and back from 2017, I still had those 2 grand. So during the vacation, I started, diversifying, putting things into new projects that were popping up, uh, and not holding on to their life. Just
Mm-hmm.
make some profit, take it out. And I just bought a Titano. Something clicked, and I just went all in.
And then there was something about it though that, you started sitting on the sidelines and just waiting for it to go up. That doesn't wasn't really fitting the bill for you, and you decided that what you were gonna like come in here and show them how to do it at some point. It seems like.
Hmm. Well, I got a lower price than we're right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I don't see it as a big issue. I mean, everything's down, so.
But like when did you decide that you wanted to have a more of a more input? Like you wanted to put yourself into the project and give from your, well of knowledge. You wanted to bring that into the project. What caused you to just, as opposed to just being a average investor, you're building a whole economy around Titano.
Well, I just don't like to sit on my ass doing nothing. I mean, it's so easy to do nothing. And if at least 10 people, 5 people from the community can, push, the gears at least a little,
Hmm.
it can help the economy, it can help the price to recover. And you can see David is reaching out to people from the community who have, expertise in different fields, marketing, they have different communities, copywriting, and all that. So
Hmm.
essentially, he is leveraging the community, uh, which is the best resource that you have. And being part of it, being part of the community, I just can't stand. I can't sit doing nothing. So it just comes naturally from the inside. I just have this urge to provide some kind of value. I mean, with all those ICOs, I just needed to make a place, make a website for people to go and see everything they need to see, because it's so much easier to have it all in one place, so
Hmm.
you can make a quick and strong decision. Should I go all in, or just wait it out, or is it a good fit, or is it a bad fit? Um, so yeah, I just started building bots for the Discord.
Hmm.
Uh, I got hooked up by it, and I just wanted to expand to provide some more value. And it seems that people are eating that value.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
How many, I mean, can you just, what kind of time do you put into this on a daily basis, do you think?
I don't count, but
I mean, do you think it's three, four, or
oh
more
no,
hours a day?
10, 14 hours.
10 or 14 hours a day, you're
Oh,
working on your
I
website.
mean,
And
if it's a new thing, then yeah, it's going to take time. Uh,
uh-huh.
I started this thing a month ago.
Uh-huh. And did you think it was going to go as far as it has? I mean, or what did you think you
I
were
was
just?
thinking that a handful of people will use it, and that's it. But
Mhm.
I can see it now going on YouTube. I did not expect that, but hey,
You're everywhere I look on Discord, they're using your metrics, screenshots of your bots.
I mean, it does provide value, does provide insight on what's happening at the moment.
Hmm.
So I deem it as a quite valuable tool.
Hmm.
But yeah, I sunk a lot of time into it, and I will in the future. But I don't find this being a hassle. I like what I'm doing.
Yeah. But I mean, do you have to hold down a regular job also while you're doing this? Or I mean, or
That's the
you
thing. I
just
quit my job.
you quit your job? Okay, so that means you're doing good with your investments, hopefully.
uh, at the moment, hardly. But anyone could say that. So
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, I quit my job in February. I had enough. You know, 3 years, 4 years without any vacation.
Uh-huh.
The management was a disaster. I held the position of a team lead developer. Uh, had like three different, no, more like four different countries to, support.
Hmm.
We had this e-pharmacy web shop that had expanded into four countries, all over the Baltics and into Poland. And I was the main guy.
Yeah. You were loaded. I haven't had a vacation in 13 years, but I can't quit because I own the company.
Oh yeah, it's way better to own a company than slaving away for someone else and having no time for yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
Uh,
So I told you earlier that I wanted you to take us on a tour of your
oh,
site, and we managed to hook up one of your screens so that you could take us through it. And just kind of like what I'm asking you to do is just take us through the various rooms that you have there, the different uh, tables and what they do and what they say and how somebody could use it. Because I
oh,
think a lot of people probably have only seen have a very incomplete picture of what's available there. And then you could also speak to what is on the horizon, because as you said, there's some other things coming, I guess, right?
yeah, there are some things.
Hmm. So I'm just going to kind of hand it to you. We're going to turn that screen on and we're going to go to titanchess.com. Is that what it is? Or,
Yeah, it's titanchess.com.
all right. So let me see. That's the wrong screen. There's the right screen.
Yeah, there's the red screen.
Okay. It's all you, brother.
Oh, so me, oh man. I I just got away from doing presentations back to doing presentations.
I mean, the site looks beautiful. It's just amazing. In fact, I mean, just what you've done over the last couple of weeks is pretty amazing.
Well, once you have the you know the basics done, it's easier to just put something up together.
And
So, oh,
is this thing designed totally from scratch?
yep.
That- That's really something. And so, I mean, and so, wow. Well, go ahead. I don't want. If I have any questions, well, I'll chime in, but I'm just going to let you take it.
Well, okay. So first of all, this is the main dashboard. This is the home page, and I wanted to make it like this that people would not have to, click anywhere to see the immediate stats.
Hmm.
So what I have here is all the necessary market data, the price, market cap, treasury, RFV, liquidity, and the funny thing is, I I personally track the holders. I don't use BSC scan or anything. I have my own database. Yeah, and you see it's running in the background every single minute.
Wow. So I
uh,
mean, what- but you
yeah,
say if you don't get it from BSC scan, how do you get it?
from the blockchain.
Amazing.
So yeah, I just go through the new blocks every minute, check if there are new wallets, new transactions, update the old wallets, and where I can see it. Well,
Hmm.
not a lot of people are buying now, so I only get updated wallets. So yeah, and then I have like 120 entries of previous Titano holders and current Titano holders,
Hmm.
and this thing just automatically goes through the list every 30 minutes or so
And
because
so
we
all
own
of this,
basic, so we need to go through it.
and this does this update automatically? So
Yeah.
what the
Yep,
first page that we saw?
and it does. It updates every. You just update it.
And
Not-
you know the other thing that also noticed on here is each one of those rectangles there
yep.
has an information field that you can hover over, which yeah explains exactly what it's for.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I found out that a lot of people are questioning on Discord, what is this? What is that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make it easier for people. Click this button and you will see the information.
Hmm.
If you don't understand it, then come back to Discord and ask me again. So
It's awesome. That's amazing.
so yeah.
Very helpful.
So these are all the key metrics. Well, personally, I think those are
Hmm.
that I track every 5 minutes. And from this, we could,
So these are updated every 5 minutes.
yeah,
Okay. And from programs that you yourself designed.
yep, all from scratch.
Yeah, you're just a regular guy, Wayne.
I'm a regular guy.
Well, you're the Batman.
No, I'm Wayne.
But I'm starting to think I'm starting to think that you are the developer for Titano
No, I don't do blockchain development as of yet.
as of yet. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
have plans to, learn it. I have
Hmm.
some experience with it. I forked a few coins, just to play around with. But that's all about that's all about it.
All right. And so what's this graph underneath here? Would you have some graphs?
Yeah, I have some graphs. You can see the little rectangles with
Hmm.
graph icon. You can click on it and it will show
Uh-huh.
a 6 hour interval.
Hmm.
More like six. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere around 6 hours. What's happening to each of those metrics?
Hmm.
So each bubble represents or a 5 minute, change, but it's
Okay.
hard to see it.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is the main dashboard that people usually end up, from what I can see. If you want to get more in depth, we can show you. So this is Google Analytics, and I track everything where people go and what people use. So I know what needs to be, changed or what people are using the most. So I can see that a lot of people are just ending on the main page, on the home page where all the metrics are.
Uh-huh.
And this, in the second place, people usually go to the earnings calculator to, see how much they will make in X days, and that's about it. And I've noticed that there's an increase of usage in the field of buying and selling Titan on my page.
I buy all my Titano from your page.
Is it easier or just because of it?
I just find number one that having it there on your site, which I like to go to anyway, so it's very convenient just to be
Oh,
there.
okay. So yeah, we have the main thing, and then below we have the roadmap, which I need to update because there's the new liquid capital thing coming
Hmm.
out. I
Yeah.
just need
Uh-huh.
to add a new one, uh, and all the dynamic content blocks for what if I need to change it, I can just easily go to my not CMS, the content management system that is also implemented to make my life easier.
Uh-huh.
And I can just change things, make announcements, change the roadmap things,
Hmm.
to use the content blocks, which is a few remarks about the price. It's in the home disclaimer, and I can go and change whenever I need it.
This is great. I hope people are really enjoying this. I mean, so it's so obvious. There's so much time, effort, and passion have gone into this website. I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure you had the time to, uh, show and
thanks
tell.
to the fact that I quit my job, I have the time now.
I guess it better look good, right?
I mean, I'm doing what I want. I'm doing what I like instead of
Hmm.
working with some dinosaur technology.
Have the devs reached out to you and said, "Hey,
Nah, nah,
no,
no,
no pat on the back yet."
not yet. Uh,
Okay.
well, at least you see this thing that's running in the background. It already stopped. It's 7:25. It's 10:26, so 3 hours ago. Uh,
And
they
so,
reached out to
what's
me
the tree
for
map here?
oh yes, the tree map. I just wanted to have it here so people would see that we're not the only ones going down. That the whole market is red or green.
Oh man, that is something I see you having to tackle all the time in the Discord. It's just
Oh
like
yeah,
people are like, "Why is the price going down?"
why's the price going down?
Yeah, why?
Why?
And it's like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, everywhere you look, it's worse. Actually, I'm surprised it's not worse for Titano.
I mean, Titano is holding pretty good. And look at the price. If you can compare it to B&B, it's
Hmm.
almost the same pattern.
Yeah, much of the time it does it mirrors B&B. I've seen that.
So that means we don't have a lot of buys and sells. We just follow B&B.
Right.
Um,
And that's the only way it's going to break free is
yeah.
if we buy or sell.
So the one thing that is coming to Titan Chest is a double-sided comparison screen, where you can put price of B&B on one side, the price of Titanium on the other side, and just compare the two,
Uh-huh.
or any other graph for that matter. So it's coming in for the future, and you can choose the dates, the time frames, and all that.
Hmm.
So that's in the works. It will come someday.
I have a request too. You can think about it. But I'm always looking for like um some kind of app, something that would be like a simulator of sorts, where you could try out different scenarios with pricing, your own custom pricing, and how many tokens that you want to purchase, And I've never really found something that makes it easy for folks.
Uh, what would you like to simulate? So
Well, let's
price
just say like,
B&B, Titano price.
yes, let's say, hey, the price drops to this level. What if I put in this amount? So that you can just kind of like match, hey, do I want to wait for it to drop a little bit lower, or that kind of thing.
Uh, it kind of does. I mean, you can change the price of Titano in the future. Like, so what if it changes to the price of, you know, 5 cents in 5 days. So it already calculates it for you and even shows you the change.
Man, look at that. I haven't played around with this.
Yeah, so I can certainly expand on it. I'm already writing a sticky note.
All right, fantastic.
I have a bunch of them, a handful.
Mm-hmm.
I need a book. I have a book, but I'm too lazy to write in a book.
And this one is where's okay, so it's located at calculators.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the calculators. So yeah. So this is the main page basically. We can go to the announcements,
Mm-hmm.
which I take from Discord.
Uh-huh.
And whenever a new announcement is made, you will get a pop-up on the homepage that will annoy you until you go and read the announcements. So this is how I combat, you know, people not reading them.
Uh-huh.
Uh, because I've seen quite a lot of people on Discord just marching in,
Yep.
asking tons of questions
Yeah.
while an announcement was made like 5 minutes ago,
Oh yeah, all the time.
all the time. So this is my implementation of, dude, go read it.
I feel like there needs to be a little bit more tough love in the Discord
Oh
sometimes,
yeah,
but
it does. And yeah, those are expansive. You can click on them and see the full text.
mm-hmm.
So this is just a summary of it. And you can click on continue reading, and there you go. You get the full picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I have is the trading chart, which is taken from Dex Screener.
Mm-hmm.
I think that having this on the website is also really convenient, that you don't have to have multiple windows open
Yeah.
and just go here and see what's happening. So at the moment we are having more sells than buys, but that's a given.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing we can do about it. And yeah, that's about it. Then you can go buy and sell Titano on the same page. It
Yeah.
already prompts the MetaMask, and it's just taken from Blocked Finance. It's an embed,
Mm-hmm.
which is provided by Blocked Finance, and
That's great.
there are no safety concerns. Basically, you're just using Blocked Finance on the
Yeah.
page.
Mm-hmm.
That's about
Yeah.
it.
I've seen
And
that because when I check to see who I'm connected to, it says bogged finance.
yeah, and why
I
do I
like this
go?
because it's because of the auto slippage. That's why I use it.
Yeah, I do like it the same way. But I know that the guys are actually developing an auto slippage for the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
so we could see it anytime soon, I guess.
Oh, great.
Okay, so then we have the calculators. So there are two: the price impact calculator and the earnings one. So if we go to the price impact, it basically describes what it is. It's just for theory, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of has the accuracy of 80%. Uh, was it Liu or what? What's his name? Yeah, it was Liu. Uh, whom I asked to wait a bit before buying for 25 BNB.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just wrote it down and checked what the impact of buying with how much would it be? 25. That's for like 4.5 grand. What the impact of that buy transaction would be. So it was pretty accurate, I would say. So if you were to buy 4.5 grand of Titano right now, you would raise the price up to 3.7.
Uh-huh. And
It's
its
not
current
a
price right now.
yeah. It would go from this to this.
I see. Uh-huh.
So it's not a huge increase, but you get the picture.
Yeah.
So people usually use this for, what if we have a 1 million buyback? What would it do? So the price would go from 3.7 to 7.6, given the price of BNB is low. So I could make some changes here. What if the price of BNB were at this level? What would it change?
Mm-hmm.
So there could be some improvements made.
Nice. I'm sure that you will probably do it.
You need to write it down.
I mean, it's amazing how quickly you get this stuff done.
um, I have some experience, so it's just comes naturally.
I have to do all kinds of updates on my website for the honey, and
Huh.
I dread it because
Oh,
I know it's going to take me hours for something that I see other people do in under an hour. But my expertise lies in other areas. I only do the web stuff because there's nobody else to do it.
yeah, you can always hire people, but the upfront cost is, I don't know if it's necessary when you have all the
Yeah.
tools at your disposal for free,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah. The when I think what happens when things turn around and we make a couple million from Titano, then I'll ask you if I can hire you to redo my website.
Sure thing, I guess.
All right, so we got calculators, and what's the next one here?
Yeah, we got calculators, and we have the earnings calculator, which helps you to see how much your Titano would make in X days and how much Titano you would make if the price would change in Y days. You can also
Okay.
choose weeks, months, and years. I just limited it to 4 years because
Hmm.
that's how much the rebases are going for. And yeah, so if you have 1 million in Titano, not USD, and you hold it for, I don't know, let's say 3 months, uh, the price will remain the same, and you click calculate. It will generate you a table that shows you your initial balance, the interest you gain from all the rebases, uh, how much you will have before the sell tax, how much is the sell tax, what's the total, that means interest plus initial balance, and what's the profit, that means after selling your, you know, total, what comes out. And it also shows the end date, the number of rebases. I believe for tax purposes, it's way
Ah.
easier.
Uh-huh.
Then you have the full rebase history, uh, counting per day, because counting per 30 minutes, that would generate tons of entries. So I just stuck with, going per day.
And
And
you
it
have
has
that for wow, look at that.
yeah, it
Nice.
has the full list. So and if you choose you know, a different price after Y days, it also shows you the breakpoint. After 30 days, the 31st day will have a different price, I would say, and
Uh-huh.
it will be highlighted in a different color. So shows you the initial balance, the interest you generate, and its value, and how much Titanium you're making per day, and its value, and the date.
That's amazing.
And you can also export it to an Excel sheet.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Very nice.
I think I have it somewhere. Yeah, in Google Sheets. The rebases, yeah. So yeah, it looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the exported file. I've
Amazing.
seen some people using it for counting
Tax.
rebates for taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
pretty useful for them.
Great. So, okay, then the last one is dashboards, which we were already there.
Yeah, the last one is dashboards. So we have the burn tracker, the KPI tracker, and the holders dashboard.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. Goes.
the burn
Let's.
tracker basically tracks how much tokens we have burned this day, how much we burned in total, the total value, and this is showing just how much the burn tokens are rebasing in 24 hours. So it has already rebased for 0.60%, and by the end of the day, it will be 1.92.
Uh-huh.
So it's always increasing, and the amount of total supply those burn tokens represent. Also have the this text that explains what is a burn wallet, and do Titano tokens rebase in that wallet, and what does it mean to go deflationary.
You
So
know,
people just
when
go on
I
the
look,
page. Okay, okay.
when I look at this stuff, I just say to myself, shouldn't this be on Titano's website?
I know.
Like, you're, you know what I mean?
I
I've had
mean,
a,
I guess it should be. Uh, why? Because no other provider like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko,
yeah.
ESC does this.
I think you should find a way to lease this information to Titano and make some money. It's just my
So,
personal opinion.
and then we have the burn history that shows the latest 100 burns. And, and I have a tracker. Oh, yeah, that's called Transactions Watcher. That is also tied to the Whale Watcher on Discord.
Gee.
That watches for, at least 500,000 Titano bots, and then posts a message on Discord,
Are these
and
your
then
bots in the Discord?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then the same transactions watcher also looks for any burns, and it automatically updates the list. Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty nice.
You've really done a lot of work here.
I had to.
And you say you had to. Why?
I know, it just
It was bothering you that it didn't exist somewhere.
kinda. I mean, I just when you get off work and you just sit all day doing nothing and you feel bad about it.
Uh-huh.
That's why. Okay, I'm going to do a small test, um, sending 10 Titano to the burn wallet,
Okay.
and it should update this value. Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
And it's in the list, yeah.
That's incredible. It's so fast too.
It,
You say what, every 5 seconds it updates or
it
something?
updates every minute,
Every minute?
and you can see in the tracker in the watcher, it says Titano type -1, which is a burn, the address, the amount burned, the hash, and all that stuff.
Hmm. All right. So we've got the burn tracker. What else we got?
What else we got? We got the KPI tracker,
What's
which stands
that?
for key performance indicators,
All right.
usually used in businesses,
Uh-huh.
corporations, to measure how good we're doing based on previous, days, weeks, months, and how much of an impact a certain, event has, given. So I'm tracking the fundamentals, which are the treasury, there are RFV, liquidity. They have those green lights
Hmm.
on the left side, and they could change to yellow lights or red lights if they go down significantly.
I see.
But since we are in the green zone, I can say that we're okay. And what do we have here is performance indicators for this week, the last week, and this month.
And what is the arrows here that are throbbing? What is?
Uh, those are to indicate uh, the change from, uh, let's say, the start of last week to the end of last week. Uh, I mean this week from last week's
Last
end
week?
to today.
Hmm.
So this is the previous.
Hmm.
Uh, these are the previous values, and the arrow indicates the change to today. So
Okay.
we went from 5837 in just a day.
Yeah, I know that's not very pretty.
Yeah, that's not very pretty. And if we go to this month, it will be even worse.
Uh-huh.
40%. So yeah, it just shows the changeover based on the time frame. And I have here major announcements and releases. So we could you know, there we go. So we could see if any of those had an beneficial impact on these values.
Hmm.
But I think we should add B and B into this array of things so we
So
can
you're gonna.
see
Hmm.
that we depend on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you can just check what is happening, see if any of those announcements or releases had any impact. You can also go click on them and it'll take you to the announcement. You could go back and oh, go back to the KPIs.
All right.
And
So you
yeah,
got. Okay. So you got this is for the key performance, and what's the other one? There's one more.
there's one more. Yeah, I just can show you that you can also filter,
Wow, look at
things
that.
to see. You don't need the last month or this month. Just leave this week.
Yes.
It's, pretty convenient.
I think so.
And the last one is the holders.
Uh-huh.
So you can go here and see the wallet distribution by token amount from basically dust to 1,000 all the way up to 50 million and up.
Hmm.
So these values all add up to, this.
Do you
Then
know
we
my
have,
wallet without me having to tell you?
I don't know.
I bet
I
you
mean,
do.
it must be in the list somewhere, I guess.
It better be.
Yeah, it better be. Then we have the holdings tier list, which is basically a representation of the, what's it called, whale chart.
Are you one of the whales?
Well, I am a Moby Dick.
All right.
Yeah, this
Uh,
one. So essentially, it's a breakdown of this picture.
uh-huh.
Uh, Here it shows all the my English.
You're doing good, brother.
you know, Sometimes the words get lost.
It's all right. We're in no rush.
Yeah, it shows the brackets uh, for each of the tiers. Mm, and we go all up to Titanosaurus Rex,
Hmm.
which is from 10 million to all the way up to 1 billion. But the values can change anytime. So
Yeah. Well, that's a fairly new bracket right there. I only just recently saw the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I mean, you should be in this bracket already.
I'm almost there.
Almost. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
If you say almost, let's see. This one.
How do you do that?
Okay, let's take your wallet, put it in this find wallet by address, click search, and it will show you the rank, the tier, how much you have.
Yeah, I already looked at mine on there. It was amazing how fast it found it too, man. I mean, it's like instantaneous. So
uh, I mean, I have all the database on my servers.
your servers is like blazing fast.
Now I did some optimizations because before that it was slow as heck.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it does it pretty fast now. So yeah, it's a pretty neat feature. I've seen
Yeah.
people like it. They're using it. You
Yeah.
can also filter this thing, the list. You can select the order, so you can go from ascending, so basically from one token. Uh, it updates the list from pagination all on the same page.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. BSC scan does not allow you to do that.
Mm-mm.
You can also see the dust wallets, which are wallets without tokens or previous Titano holders, or
Mm-hmm.
wallets that have 0.1 and above. So
You're a
basically, a dust
you're
wallet is considered
hmm
a wallet that holds less than one token.
Yeah. You're a connecting the dots kind of guy, huh? You have to connect the dots.
Oh yeah.
You don't like open-ended.
Mm, I like things straight and certain.
So, okay, so what are some of the other things that you're thinking about putting on here, or are you close to being done?
uh, I'm planning to, but I haven't started yet.
Hmm.
I mean, Titano has this account page which I want to improve.
Hmm.
So we will see this type of connect wallet thing on my page on the Titan chest, and it will probably end up in the dashboards or as a new section
Uh-huh.
called account, and people would just go there to see basically the same metrics but faster,
Hmm.
without having to load or wait for loading up. Uh, and then I will also include all the rebase history.
I
So
mean, this here, nobody asked you to do this, right? I mean, you
no,
just did this on your own.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
Because I take it as a learning experience.
it's incredible. And can people donate to this?
Yeah, they can. If you take a look at this corner, you can see buy me some nuggets.
I can't see it because your name tag is in the way, but there's something there at the bottom.
Yeah, it's something there at the bottom. This one.
Okay, uh-huh. Buy
You
me
click,
some nuggets.
yeah, you click on it and you get the QR code or the address.
And what this is for Titano or BNB?
Whatever you want. I mean, you
Hmm.
can send some cum rocket coins if you want to. I don't know.
All right, fantastic. All right, so
So
okay.
yeah,
Uh,
I have plenty of things coming. Uh, I have a small plan, a roadmap on a sticky note
Uh-huh.
that will be implemented. And one thing that I wanted to do is to do a small crypto project that would tie in Titano in some way.
Like, can you flesh that out in a little bit? What do you mean?
I had a few ideas. So one of the idea was to have a marketplace, sort of like eBay, Etsy,
Ah,
but people would be able to pay in Titano.
so I could put my honey on there, for instance.
I mean, yeah,
I like it.
you just have to think about it, how to do this thing. how to do the listings. So people would just go to Titan Chest, go to this page and list, have an account, list their items, and just accept payment in Titano, basically. And
Listen, brother,
so
I think
some
that's
of those
that.
funds could go to, burning or buybacks or whatever.
Uh-huh.
The other thing was a stupid idea of having a flash rebase.
Okay, I saw that in the Discord. You're gonna have to explain that what that is, though.
So you know that the more tokens you have, the more they grow each rebase.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine having a pool of tokens. So let's say 1 million tokens in a pool, and one lucky person gets to use that pool for 30 minutes
Oh,
for a single rebase.
I think you would have a lot of participants in that.
I mean, that would be one time only per week, per few days
Mm-hmm.
type of thing.
Well, I
Just to
mean, that's
help,
some, yeah.
just to help out the low wallets, the lesser guys. I mean, who have lesser tokens,
Uh-huh.
fewer tokens than whales have or whatever.
Well, why do you think it's not? Why do you think it's a stupid idea?
I know. I just thought about it that it's it's kind of play, but faster.
I mean, it's like having your own contest, though. I mean, right? You'd be sponsoring that yourself.
Yeah, it would be. Uh, I don't know. I just
Um,
have a stupid idea. I think about it. I get it on the back burner and rethink it like a month later.
I think you would have crazy participation on something like that.
I don't know. Maybe I just need to ask people around. But since the chat is not that active,
Mm-hmm. I
I
think it
don't
would
get
be
a lot
good.
of responses.
So, listen, I got a question that somebody wanted to ask. It was from
Oh,
also from Dex.
oh, come on! I must be
He
fake.
he wanted this. So this is a serious one though.
Okay.
So he said, if you could snap your fingers and change instantly one thing about Titano, what would that be and why? So if you could change one thing as it stands right now, what would it be and why?
Holy crap!
Is there anything that stands out?
Ah, what?
Also, he said that extends to the future of Titano too. So maybe it's something that doesn't exist now, but you'd like to see it later.
That's a tough question. Hmm. Mm.
Don't look to me for help on this, brother, because I'm just here for the ride.
Now thinking. I need my thinking juice.
Well, you chew on it, let that marinate a little bit, and maybe it's something
Mhm.
you could we could talk about in the Discord at some point. Um, so also when I was looking through your Discord, I saw something, a term you used. It's called shadow investor, and I know what it means, but I want you to just kind of talk a little bit about this because this is like it's something you didn't want to be. And I feel real strongly about this because I would love to see more people in the Discord actually do what you're doing, maybe do what I'm doing, somehow finding a way for them to help out. And
Hmm.
what are your thoughts on that in your shadow investor that you don't want to be?
Uh, that's a phrase I came up with, which has a different meaning. I hope so. I didn't look it up beforehand, but you know, what I mean by that is people usually buy the token without even looking at it and just
Ah,
leave, and just
mm-hmm,
leave. It marinates for half a year, I don't know, 2 months, whatever time you give it. And some of them just go on and on and on. Why is the price falling? Why is it not changing? Why are we not, advancing?
Hmm.
Which is basically looking from the shadows, expecting something to happen.
Hmm.
And I stand by the point that if you do like the project, if you see something of substance, a a possibility to, somehow improve it without
Hmm.
overly uh, overly pushy, overly dramatic, as some people are, then I strongly believe that you should take some of the things into your own hands.
Hmm.
I mean, it shouldn't become part of your, routine, part of your day, but at least you can do something, at least 1 hour per day, 1 hour per week, uh, just to help the project grow. Uh, because I look at Titano from the business perspective, and I think it makes a lot more sense to do that than looking at it as a run by night coin, because we have real people behind it, we have real expertise behind it. I really admire David because he looks at this also from the business perspective.
Hmm.
Uh, we went through all those, business growth cycles and all that, and it all falls into places. I mean, we're at the second stage of Titano, so to say.
People seem to have this idea or notion that things need to happen overnight, and
Oh
it's just
no,
like,
I mean, in real life business, things don't happen overnight. You know that. You certainly do. And people have this misunderstanding that, hey, it's crypto, it should happen with a snap of a finger.
hmm.
But it's not that. Okay, Bitcoin it's just a coin, but it it can also be seen as a business kind of thing. People are mining it. People are having whole, you know, basements rented out with mining equipment, and they're making money. They're, using it somehow. And what is Titano trying to do, trying to achieve, is something like a business. You can look at it as a startup that's trying to earn a title of real business, uh, by expanding, by partnering up with other people, because more heads are always better.
Yeah.
And you are part of it as an investor. So if you want to see something happen, something change, just go do it. Go, do suggestions. Try to find people. Try to collab with them, and step out of the shadows.
Do you think do you have any designs on becoming an official um, a developer of sorts with Titano? If they asked you, would you be interested in that?
If they ask me, definitely yes.
Hmm.
I would go for it. I mean, I'm in the middle of opening a LLC,
You're
so I
getting
just
you're laying the groundwork for this
yeah,
possibly.
I'm laying the groundwork. In a way, Titan Chest is a sort of like a portfolio,
Hmm.
sort of like a MVP, a product that one of the products that I would essentially sell, or give out subscription based, utilities.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm in the middle of opening a company, and I would see no issues with becoming a developer, an official one.
Hmm.
Uh, be it not on the blockchain, what about just doing? this kind of thing. Yeah, I could easily transition from being a simple everyday dev to blockchain, uh, because I have this trait. Sometimes it's a negative one, sometimes it's a rather positive one, that you just don't give up.
Yeah. So let me ask you this here, as we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon here. Um, I'm just curious, when you're not doing this, which it seems like you're always doing it, but when you're not doing it, what kinds of what kind of stuff keeps you occupied, or what grabs your interest? What kind of things are you interested in? Do you like cars? You like writing? Are you a movie person? Do you like to go out
Hmm.
with your woman? I mean,
What I do. I mean, I would
how
do.
do you spend your
I would do more things than I do now if I didn't live in this small apartment.
uh-huh.
But what I usually do is I just read. I just catch up on the news, catch up on the space industry.
Hmm.
I'm really fascinated by what SpaceX is trying to achieve, all the Starship thing.
Yeah.
I watched
Uh-huh.
all the live streams. Uh, I'm really interested in space, all the exploration, all the James Webb Telescope new thing.
Hmm.
So I spent quite a lot of time reading on those things, and then I play the guitar from time to time.
Uh-huh.
uh, I was actually in a rock band back in school. Uh, then what else? Yeah, I usually spend most of my time at the computer, trying to absorb as much information, as much as new information as possible.
Well, at least you're doing what you want to do. You said before that when you were working for somebody, you were also at the computer, but it just
Yeah,
wasn't something you were passionate about.
I was at first, but I just quickly came to realize that it's not something that I want to continue doing.
Hmm.
My first job was a freelancing gig. I I got spoiled by it. I got a taste for freedom before getting into the job market. So that those 3 years working for someone else was a little bit of torture.
Yeah. Well, that happens. I mean, once you get a taste for um, doing things on your own, same thing happened to me. I mean, within a couple of years, there's no way that I could work for somebody else again because you're a changed animal at that point. There's
Oh
just
yeah,
you've already proven to yourself that you don't you first of all you can do it on your own, and the results are better, and you're happier.
yeah,
So
you're happier. I mean, the time you put in is way more, the time and effort, but you you feel more accomplished. It
mhm.
kind of gives sense to your life, to give sense to your what you're doing. Because I don't know, I have this thought that working for someone else does not give value to the society, but to that person, to that CEO.
Mhm.
While you can work for yourself and just think of what values you can bring up to the table. Basically, you have all the time you need for yourself.
Well, Wayne, for me, having my own business in the end, looking back after all these years, it was the great liberator for me, because I just the kinds of lessons that I've learned, the kind of person that I've turned into over the years is something that I never thought I could be. I didn't. I just never dreamed that I was smart enough to run my own business because I didn't graduate high school. And so I thought you'd have to have a lot of money, or you'd have to be lucky, or you would inherit something, and then maybe you could stand a chance. But I started my business from scratch, just like you start your projects. Worked it from the ground up. I know it thoroughly, just like you know your code thoroughly.
Well,
And at the end of the day, you prove something to yourself that I you just don't get that same kind of validation from working for somebody. You know.
yep, I can fully agree.
Yeah, and of course, you don't really understand it until, or you may not understand it, especially if you don't have someone in the household that's entrepreneurial, or maybe you don't have a family business or that you grew up with, and you're just in your mind you think, oh well, I'm gonna work until I retire at 60 or 65, and that's it, and you think that's all there is, but there's so much more when it's really all up to you. That's the whole thing. If it doesn't work, it's on you. If it works, it's on you.
Yeah. In a way, it's easier to be responsible for what you do than
Yeah, it is.
it's all in your hands, and you can make changes that
Mm-hmm.
you
You can
deem
turn on a dime.
yeah. What else I do? I do enjoy cars. I have a 2004 Honda Accord.
Oh, what do you have?
A 2004 Honda Accord.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Honda. Honda. Dude, I said it in my life.
No, that's Honda.
It's Honda,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Uh, yeah, I do work on it myself,
Mm-hmm.
all the chassis things, all the body work. I'm the handy guy. I grew up on a farm, so I love to do things on my own, basically. If I
Uh-huh.
needed to take it to a shop, it's something that I'm not capable of.
Yeah.
But all the major works, the oil changes, the brake pads, all the let's say simple stuff,
Mm-hmm.
quite easy to do it yourself. The harder stuff, you just go back to the farm, get the tools, and set a day for working on it. So I really do enjoy cars, and I dream about getting a license for a motorcycle.
Ah,
Yeah.
and now you're talking my language, brother.
Oh yeah. I had some fun with those. Jeez, what's it called? 1983? No, the old post Second World War motorcycles.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean like from Harley Davidson, the old?
No, no, those are purely Russian motorcycles, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, we have some of the heritage from the Soviets,
uh-huh.
and some of those motorcycles were, just pure magic. I just don't remember the name.
I know there's a lot of folks on YouTube now that restore all these old bikes.
Yeah, they do. It's sort of like a Java from 1962,
Let me make your screen. Let me put your screen up here so I can see what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
something like this, maybe
Yeah.
something like this.
Uh-huh.
So I had fun with those things. They're not that powerful, uh, but yeah, I always dreamt about having a motorcycle, but never had the time without vacation nor the money to get a
Yeah.
license. And I hope to get one you know in the following years, maybe. So yeah,
A lot of people refer to riding motorcycles as wind therapy.
might be. you, it is just you and your motorcycle.
I mean, it seems like it's the closest you can get to flying, because you don't have a cage around you, a window or anything like that, and it's just like you're in the open air.
Does
And
it feel anything like driving on the freeway at midnight all
I
alone?
don't think it. I don't think it doesn't feel anything like driving in a car.
Huh.
It's a totally different kind of feeling. Um,
Because there's
And
something magical about driving on a freeway at midnight with no one else around and all the street lights going by.
yeah, no, it's nice, that's nice. But there's something that a lot of people don't like. They don't realize until they ride a motorcycle, and it's the change in temperatures in different areas of wherever you are at. Or maybe if you're riding through the country and they have irrigated fields, it gets really cold. There's all kinds of smells that you just don't get when you're driving in the car. It's really nice.
Hmm. I mean, we don't have that much places. It's either plains or hills and forests.
Uh-huh. So you have a lot of countryside.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of countryside. I mean, I could show you the map. Uh, yeah, this is the capital, and this is the second largest city, the third one, and everything else is just basically forests.
Hmm.
So yeah, we grew up in this place. It's on the countryside, on the farm, surrounded by forests next to
Uh-huh.
Latvia. uh,
What's the elevation there?
Elevation, oh man, I don't even know. Terrain, what's the elevation? Where does it show the elevation? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't spend too much time on the maps, but
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. So
what kind of temperatures were you experiencing today?
it's 20 something. In Celsius, that would be shade. 40 Fahrenheit? I don't know. Ooh, 68.
It was like 110 degrees here where I'm at.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 30, 89 back 2 days ago or so.
Uh-huh. What's the hottest it gets out there?
And the hottest, the last 2 years, it went up to 9,800 or so.
That's amazing. And so it must get pretty cold though in the
It,
winter.
sometimes it gets to minus 13.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I'm wearing shorts in the winter here in
I mean,
Arizona.
I kind of love the weather when it's at minus 10 at least.
And I don't think there's too many motorcycle riders at that
Oh no.
temperature.
I mean, I've seen some with studded tires, but those must be, suicide drivers or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen here, my friend. I think we're at the end of it, and I just wanted to go ahead and thank you again for saying yes to this. I know a lot of people were really curious and wanted to know if you were really a real person. So I
Oh
think we
man,
have at least
now
proven
they've
that.
seen my face. They've seen my face. Some people say that I look like my profile picture to some
Uh,
degree.
well, your hair's pulled back, so maybe if you released it, untamed the hair,
Oh
then
man,
we
I
have to
could,
see.
but it's not washed. Or
There you go. That's a little bit, yeah. Now I
yeah,
think
that's
it more
what
it more resembles your
I need to take care of it now. So you've seen the magic.
I wish I was able to do that, but as you can see, I'm challenged a little bit over there.
Yeah, I'm still at that time when I can enjoy it,
Yeah.
but looking at my grandpa, he is still rocking a long
Oh
hair.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so maybe you'll get to keep it then. That'll be good.
but it'll be white,
That's
pure
all
white,
right.
silver.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that looks distinguished. I think people like that.
Hmm, I kind of do, I guess. Also, yeah, I don't know if quite a lot of people can, boast about it, but I've been to plenty of hunts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hunting parties.
Uh-huh.
What
What's
else can you do when you grow up on a farm? Yeah.
exactly? But I think we have a lot of hunters here too. A lot of folk. Where I
Wow.
used to live in New Jersey, even more.
Sadly, you can only own a gun by having a hunter's license. So
That's it, huh?
yeah, that's it. And you
Well,
have to have a secure safe for it.
uh-huh.
Keep it outside the reach of children. So essentially, you need to have a separate room for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the laws are super strict.
Uh-huh.
You can't even buy, slugs just randomly. You need to show the license.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are trying to make that happen here too. I
Um,
don't know if they're going to be able to do it, but they want to.
do you think that would be for the better?
Well, I don't want somebody telling me I can't have mine. So,
Hmm.
that's for sure. If someone were to, somebody were to try and, be somewhere where they're not supposed to be,
Oh yeah,
I'd like to have it,
yeah.
especially in the middle of the night if it were to happen then. Uh,
I don't know what would happen with a 12 gauge.
well, a lot of people just the sound of that thing being racked is enough
Yeah.
to scare anybody.
Well,
And
we
if it
have.
doesn't, it should.
Well, we do have brake action ones, not pump action. So,
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Yeah.
so yeah,
I don't.
I'm pretty much into guns. I'm pretty much into pyrotechnics. I spent like 4 years making fireworks.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get a license for that, but it's super strict.
So you can't own handguns where you're at?
Randomly, no, you have to go through a psychology check.
Uh-huh.
You have to go through loads of tests to be deemed, able to have a gun.
Uh-huh. The requirements aren't that stringent here, but of course they do a background check, but that's
Oh yeah.
that's done usually right there in the store, like just in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, you walk in and walk out with whatever you want if you
I
pass
mean,
the
the last
background.
time the police pulled me over for it. Shit. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I heard something. I don't know what it was.
Someone's making a racket. Anyway, so the police pulled me over once for breaking the law. You don't have to legally carry all your documents, so they just run a background check,
Yeah.
and it took like 55 minutes. I was just standing there at the airport,
This is
and
in the airport?
there was in the airport. We have those restricted zones where you can't even stop for a bit. I just stopped
Huh.
to let out my girl, and they just pulled me over for that, and I was stopped for like 5 seconds. And I had to wait for 55 minutes at a paid parking lot. So yeah, they just basically paid the parking ticket and paid the fine for being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I try to limit my time at airports. I don't like those places.
Yeah, me too. But the last time I flew, I had serious migraine. The eardrums are popping out or popping in, or I don't know which which direction, but they were doing something.
Uh-huh. It's so interesting. I mean, when I was a kid, which was a long time ago, but I remember when you were flying on airplanes at that time, you could smoke, you could drink, you were eating on there. It was a whole different thing. And nowadays, I look at the videos that are online now, and it's like, "Ooh, man, I'm surprised that you can even breathe freely on there." It seems pretty restricted. People getting into all kinds of arguments and all kinds of crazy stuff happening. It's kind of nutty.
It kind of is. Oh man. So yeah, that's about it. I think you got plenty of information out of me. So
I wanted to thank you again for coming on. And I think the next time I'm going to ask you to come on again, I want to have a couple of the other guys on too, so we could have a little bit more of a robust discussion about maybe some of the different or specific protocols within Titano. So,
Hmm.
and it wouldn't be this long either. I don't think so. It'll just be we'll try to tackle like maybe one protocol at a time or something.
Okay.
Does that sound interesting to you?
Sure.
Okay, cool, excellent. All right, brother. Well, I guess unless you have anything else you want to say, I think we're done.
I mean, it was a pleasant time, talking.
I appreciate it, Wayne. I really do. And it always helps now, after I interview and get to spend some time and getting to know you guys, it feels a lot different when we talk to you in the Discord.
Well, now you get to know who's behind behind Wayne.
That's
Uh,
right.
I mean, the nickname doesn't go far from my real name,
Yeah.
so it's
Mine's
just
Anthony, by the way, or Tony, or Hey You, or Yo, or whatever you
hey
feel
yo.
like saying. Yeah. Well, I'm from New
Oh,
Jersey, so
just call me Wayne because people will have a super difficult time trying to pronounce my Lithuanian name.
let's
Which
hear
is
it.
Venus?
Well, it's not as bad as mine.
Yeah,
Listen, mine's Tubiolo, so it's
to
crazy
be
Italian name.
to be old.
Yeah. Oh man, does that throw everybody for a loop, brother? I would kill just to, I would kill just to have my last name Jones.
Oh, that's interesting though. Uh, I could be Wayne Michael if you turn my real name into the English version. So
I like my
not
new name,
really.
Tony Titano. It works for me.
Yeah, I'll just keep it to Wayne. Just I don't know. It's closer to me.
All right, brother. Man, you're still working off that cup of coffee? That same cup of coffee?
No, it's the second one.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that must be pretty cold by now.
Oh yeah, it is, but I don't mind.
All right. Well, all right, brother. We're gonna end this thing. It's gonna be on YouTube for whoever wants to see it for however long we keep it there. And
Okay.
I guess I'll see you in the morning.
See you soon. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. So,
Ciao.
yeah.